We've been told there are about 2,000 people who are without power here in Clarendon. That is the entire city. There have been people driving through trying to see where they can help out. They can. I have a pile right here beside me of things they have been able to pull out. We've got some children's toys, a blanket, some kitchen items.
Donna Kevin, a woman, explained how she was nearby when her coworker found that 9-year-old little boy right here by the bushes just outside of their office. Now, this is just about a block away from his home. She actually printed out this receipt here to mark the time of when they called 911, saying that someone that they were with was hit. I mean, the desk has changed, but also the personalities have changed. And so to have people who they've watched over the years here to talk about their first moments on TV, what it was like, and to know that all these folks can still count on us to tell their story.
Focus on training young people to be prepared and also making it easier for small businesses to do business so they can hire more
Absolutely.
hands. Now, who do I need to get blocked from Twitter for introducing you to these cookies and then bringing them on the show?
So not only do we get the cookies, but I bought Oreo's best friend, too.
Nice.
Plenty. Nice idea, maybe moving our desks outside.
I like that. I think we should ask the boss.
We should.
Instead of a sunroof in a car, you have a sunroof in a building.
A retractable roof.
Crank that thing open.
Well, the fire marshal confirms Village Square Apartments did not meet current safety code when that fire swept through last month, damaging 24 units. Well, now that authorities are aware of these problems, the fire marshal says it could be just too expensive to force the owner to make those upgrades that could have stopped the fire from spreading.
That's my bedroom right there.
Looking at her former home in the daylight is just as devastating as the night Gwendolyn Edwards watched it burn.
Why is it taking them so long?
Fire crews report arriving at Village Square Apartments 4:27 a.m. July 16th. They found flames jumping from unit to unit.
Like, I want to see how far it got. You're so scared. You don't know how close the fire is.
Faster than they would have if there were proper fire separation in the attic. That's one of multiple code violations we found in this report.
I trusted them. These are pretty new buildings. You know, I felt like, of course, they're going to be up to code. Why would you question that?
Investigators also found there are no exit signs or sprinklers, features required back in 2003 when this building went up.
Did you have any idea at that point that there were no sprinklers?
No, I had no idea. No, never even thought to even think about that.
These safety features are on many of their minds moving forward. We called RPM management over the phone. The president said they will rebuild according to current fire standards, which means sprinklers, updated smoke detectors, and new fire alarms, among other upgrades. But owners will not be required to fully upgrade older buildings.
What they're saying, oh, we're going to make it better. I mean, it should have been better. And like I said before, I don't have anything. Like, everything I own was in that apartment.
The changes are coming too late for these neighbors, forced out but drawn together through tragedy.
The fire marshal says he won't force those owners to add sprinklers because it would simply be too expensive. He also says there's not any record of the last inspection at that apartment complex, so there's a chance they might not have known. The president of RPM management says they're working with the fire marshal to get up to code. If you want to learn more about International Fire Code for all apartments, you can head to our website, arkansasmatters.com.
All of a sudden, like, I just looked up and it was too late.
Two friends on their phones, one behind the wheel.
We had already swerved off the road. We hit a mailbox.
This is the aftermath.
And I couldn't move them. Like, when I was laying there, I was like, I'm paralyzed.
August 2013, high school senior Grant Pyle went from swimming laps to...
I was on a ventilator. They had to put a trach in, so I couldn't even breathe on my own.
After 6 months at Arkansas Children's Hospital, Pyle is proving while most of his movements are limited, life goes on.
I can feed myself. I can brush my hair. I can brush my teeth. I have a girlfriend.
His relatives formed a chapter of FAD, Families Against Distracted Driving.
He got a $300 fine and 120 hours of community service.
Taking Pyle's story to lawmakers, pushing for stiffer penalties for distracted drivers. Thanks to Paul's law, since 2013, courts have handed down 334 convictions for texting and driving. The penalty? A $100 fine.
It's a safety bill.
Representative David Fielding is trying to amend Paul's law by adding escalating penalties and fines. In his bill, a driver caught 3 times would lose their license for a year and pay $500 in fines. But right now, now enforcement is a major hurdle.
It's very difficult for law enforcement to actually pull you over because you might not be texting driving. You might be looking for a phone number.
Fielding is working out the kinks with law enforcement while Pyle hits the road, settling into his new role as an advocate.
It only takes like a few seconds, and you're paralyzed, you know, or you die. It's just serious.
This is KARK 4 News at 10.
We begin with breaking news tonight into the KARK 4 newsroom. Little Rock police on the scene of a standoff. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Brittney Johnson. Let's head straight to 7th and Valentine, where it all started around 7 o'clock this evening with a domestic dispute call. KARK 4's Leah Uko live on the scene tonight. Leah, what can you tell us now? Thanks so much, Leah. We'll continue to update you on that story on ArkansasMatters.com. Because your safety matters, the search is on for a new home for state prisoners after years of overcrowding. Arkansas Department of Correction officially advertising for a location for a 1,000-bed facility. KARK 4's Hillary Hunt has details on what the state is looking for and how this could impact communities. Hillary Hunt reporting. Towns have until October 24th to fill out the application requested by the department. The town of Mena has already requested a town hall meeting for this Friday. There, the Department of Corrections will be there to inform and answer all questions for the residents. Authorities identify a man killed by an off-duty sheriff's deputy in Fort Smith Saturday. Police tell CNN affiliate KFSM 23-year-old Justin Higgins was killed after being involved in a domestic dispute. Authorities responded to a call that someone had kicked in the door of a home, then ran toward Jenny Lind Road and Interstate 540, where he was then spotted by officers. You're looking at video from that scene right there. Well, police say after a series of carjackings and shootouts, a deputy shot and killed the suspect on Bellhaven View Street.
I had just got through walking my dog, or I could have been the one taken hostage. You just never know what crazy people will do.
Well, the deputy in this case will be on paid suspension while the investigation continues as proper protocol. The sheriff's office will provide a counselor for the deputy before he returns to work. Conway police arrest an 18-year-old accused of stealing cars from a dealership. Daniel Van Horn faces charges of theft of property and criminal mischief. According to police, last week, 5 cars were broken into and 2 of them stolen from Riley's Premier Motors on Harkrider Street. Well, officers put out an alert for the stolen Jeep and F-150 pickup truck, and when they recovered the 2 vehicles Saturday, they also nabbed the suspect, Van Horn. A man sits behind bars tonight accused of lighting his kitchen on fire. This happened in Jonesboro on Matthews Avenue. When police showed up in reference to an assault, the victim told authorities her boyfriend poured gasoline on her and her kitchen floor, then sparked a fire. Well, police arrested Michael Walk on unrelated charges, but the landlord there tells police he plans on pressing charges. An Arkansas woman who served time for hitting and killing a construction worker in 2011 and was arrested again for DWI earlier this summer is now back in trouble again. 3 years ago, authorities charged 53-year-old Joe Jackson with negligent homicide for hitting and killing John Looper. Well, in June, police picked up Jackson for DWI again. Those charges are pending, but now she's facing another round of DWI charges in Fayetteville. Police explained why she's still on the road.
There are rules, and unfortunately, contrary to what some people wish we could do or can't do, there are laws and there are procedures in place. Sometimes they, may not make sense, but they're there for a reason.
Sergeant Stout says Jackson could be running out of chances. She's bonded out at the maximum of $2,000. On Capitol View this morning, David Goins was joined on the political long table by Rex Nelson and Max Brantley to discuss the November election, now less than 3 months away. Well, they took a look at the state races for governor between Asa Hutchinson and Mike Ross, and Senate between Tom Cotton and Mark Pryor.
In the Senate race, Cotton has a small lead. In the governor's race, Hutchinson has a little bigger lead, and he's playing that leader's game right now.
Capitol View airs Sunday mornings at 8:30 right before Meet the Press. A Central Arkansas church celebrates its 111th anniversary today. Members are marking the milestone by, of course, celebrating the past and also trying to secure a safer future because faith matters. KARK4's Leah Uko has more on how Mount Nebo Church is trying to push out crime in its community. That was Leah Uko reporting that drug and alcohol ministry is held on the last Thursday of every month. Mount Nebo church members say anyone who's in need of counseling can come on by. Happy anniversary, Mount Nebo. Medical bills can add up quick, and not paying them could cost you even more. How unpaid medical bills could put a knock on your credit score and make it harder for you to take out a loan.
I want to say could. If we're going to see 60 in Little Rock, much of North Arkansas will be in the 50s on Thursday morning.
And they'll think they're in October, right?
Oh, yeah. And just with the football season getting closer, it's going to start feeling, man, we're going to get that football fever for sure.
You know what I was going to say? It does get people excited,
yeah,
right? But then the sun's going to come back out. We're going to have a hot September, and it's going to be like it never happened, right?
Don't say that. Don't say that at all.
We can hold on to hope.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Pat. Well, it could soon be a little bit easier to get something to a loved one far away. And get this, you might be able to save a little cash. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We will see you right back here tomorrow. KARK4 Today starts at 5 a.m. Have a good night.